Good day and welcome to Open Studio on Cape Town TV. I'm Tabitha and today we are joined by Graham Rothschild and Fadila Joseph from the Poppishop. Welcome to the both of you. Thank you for being here. Dee, I wonder if you'd like to start. What is your background? Where do you guys come from? Before you started this Poppishop, where were you at?
Okay, so I'll start for myself and Graham will then obviously carry on from where he's come from. So my career started out in the public relations sector. And from there I actually ventured into product development and design. So taking concept brands from its concept stage to in product standing on shelf. And that I did for big retail brands in the market. And then my career took a bit of a turn. And I ended up in the food industry, funny enough. Oh, wow. And I was with an international corporate, and I was in their food solutions division. And while I was there, my heart was starting to pursue my passions, and I was there for quite a while. And I ended up leaving that, and I ventured into entertainment and into the fashion industry. And that's where Graham and my world basically came together.
Right, yeah. And Graham?
Yeah, well, I grew up in the advertising industry, went through the ranks starting out as a copywriter, then progressed to a creative director position, and I had the good fortune to be able to start my own ad agency back 25 years ago, and I ran and did that business until 3 years ago, when I decided that enough was enough of the ad business. But in that time I really got to love brands and branding, and that's what I'm passionate about, and came down to Cape Town, and now am at Poppishop, and we'll get into some of the details of how I got there maybe a bit later.
Absolutely.
In the talk. Yeah.
And so now, how did this idea come about to create this platform for these designers and crafters?
Well, that's exactly just following on from what you said previously. So my wife happens to be a fashion designer, and she makes all her own clothing, and she's been making this for many years, other than being a mother of 4 children. So she's now at a stage of her life where she has the time and the energy to do that. But we found it was very difficult for her to take her product to market.
Right.
It was always, you have to take it into a boutique, and they would want to make huge markups to the cost. So it just became a very difficult step in getting brand to market.
Yes.
And I thought, well, you know what, let's start our own shop. And I had the good fortune of being able to get into a space which offered the opportunity to start Poppishop.
Right. Dee, do you want to add a little bit to that?
I think he's covered that part completely.
Great,
yeah.
Fantastic. And how did you come up with the name Poppishop?
Well, the idea was that, Poppishop is a play on the word pop-up.
Right.
And a pop-up, we'll get into what that is a bit later.
Yes.
So we took the elements of poppies and a play on the word pop-up and basically combined the two to come up with the name Poppishop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long has Poppishop been around for?
We've been around since last year, April. And we're still running, so it is a Poppishop so far with longevity so far, yeah.
Okay. And any initial challenges you faced right in the beginning, and how did you overcome those?
Well, the big challenge, I think, is when you get into retail businesses, securing premises.
Yes, that's
because
important.
the big challenge is where's the position of the shop. And the better the position, the higher the rentals are that you have to pay. So that was a challenge, and so we were lucky enough to, through a contact that I have, to get to a space that was in a busy area of the city, but the rental was very affordable. So that challenge was overcome, and that's why we decided to take that space and get cracking.
And the location where it is, where is it located?
So we are based in the heart of the CBD, so we are adjacent to the 4-star Townhouse Hotel. And then other elements near us, we're like a road away from Woolworths head office, we're opposite Truworths head office, near the new church square which has been redeveloped, so like really in the heart of the CBD.
And you've got a huge sign up. I've actually seen a
Yeah.
picture,
Yeah,
which would really attract all
Passers
sorts
by,
of
yeah.
people. Yeah. So
Yeah, we also have Parliament up the road, so we have a lot of the parliamentarians popping into Poppishop.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So pop-up shop. I've heard of pop-up shops, but how is yours different, or to a pop-up shop? What
Well,
is
the real
there?
difference is that a pop-up shop by nature is something that comes and goes quickly. They normally have very short lifespans of maybe a month or two. And we have been there for nearly on a year now. But it's not going to be forever. There's development that's planned for where we are, and at some point we will have to pick up our shop and move it somewhere else. But for now, it's given us a much longer window, and we've also gone to a lot of effort to actually make the shop itself to be a very interesting experiential environment for people who walk in to have a look at what we have to offer.
Absolutely. And the shop facing itself, I noticed it's all glass and you can see right through it. You can see all the products being mainly clothing, jewelry.
So it varies from the obvious, which is the clothing and shoes, but we've actually reached out to other elements as well. So the accessories, we have things such as furniture, we have furnishings in the store as well. So it's like a whole holistic range of items within the store, besides the obvious is the clothes and the shoes, which normally is the case with most pop-ups.
Yeah, we have jewelry, we have accessories, so that's quite a
Diverse.
So
range
quite
of
a
things,
diverse
yeah.
amount
And
of
I think
things.
very important is that Poppishop has a concept, and the concept is all about everything that comes into the store must be designed and produced in South Africa.
Oh, I see.
And predominantly everything that is in the stores actually comes out of the West, people in the Western Cape. And so our concept is to also just provide a shop front for young emerging designers and craft people to take their goods to market and expose them to a broad and large potential customer.
Absolutely. And what kind of characteristics would you say your designers or crafters, if I may call them, need to have? Is there some sort of
A criteria for them to meet?
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, the creativity needs to be there, and authenticity. And then also elements where it really is unique to themselves and brings out their character,
Well, we'll get more on that later. We're off to a quick ad break. Be back after these. Welcome back to Open Studio. We are chatting to our guests from the Poppishop. So Dee, sorry to interrupt you earlier. We were talking about what characteristics the creatives, your crafters or designers need to have to offer.
to become part of the
become
Poppishop
part of
family.
the- yeah.
So key elements for us, as I mentioned before, it's the authenticity and creativity. And we thoroughly love when somebody actually brings in elements of themselves within what they actually are making, The uniqueness of themselves, them as a person, their character, their background, their story.
Yes.
And every item in our store actually has a story behind it, which again falls back on the design and where they actually come from and where their journey's taken them to where they are now. And obviously quality is paramount because the store has a particular level of quality of what we basically take in. And then we enjoy people who have like a good vibe about themselves, that are friendly and open and easygoing. So that's part of what our ethos is.
Because
yeah.
I think that's what the shop's about.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And it's like an experience when you basically walk into the shop.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Graham, do you want to add a bit to that?
Yeah, I think we like to go out into the marketplace, and that's kind of part of the business that I really enjoy, is going to find the products that are out there that are really beautiful things, and that appeals to me. That's what it attracts me, and then it's a whole process you've got to go through to approach the people and invite them in, and a lot of them are because we're not operating, we don't buy stock into the business.
Okay.
We actually do a consignment setup, so they provide us with their product, we sell it, and then we pay them out. And a lot of them are quite hesitant to do that because there is, what I found out is that in the industry there seems to be a lot of people who've had bad experiences with the consignment model because they're all on very tight budgets, and when their stuff gets sold, they sometimes have to wait too long to get their payments. But we're very strict about that. We do things every month, and we make sure that they get paid as their products get sold.
Yeah, because I suppose you need to look at how do you quality control, which is very important.
Yeah, well, that's another factor. Everything we look at and if we bring into the shop, we make sure that it's made beautifully.
Yes.
And there's a lot of handcrafting involved of everything that comes in. There's no mass production. Being locally produced, a lot of the people actually make every single piece themselves by hand. And if some might have some helpers or workers that produce for them, but they're very small setups. And that's all about local employment in that instance. So they might have a little team of 5 or 6 machinists, people working and making things for them. But they all bring themselves and their passion to their brands, and it's very contrary to the mass market retailers that dominate the industry and are actually putting up barriers for our local people to get to market, because
that's true. It's happening. Yeah.
There's so much of it, and their pricing is so low that they actually can't compete.
Yeah.
But I think people are starting to become more aware and wake up to the idea of helping local producers and to appreciate the effort and the quality that they put into their work. It's not something that's been made in the thousands in some back street factory far way away from South Africa.
And how do you approach these crafters or designers, or do they come to you?
It's actually been quite a unique way of how it's happened. So we often go out to markets and we spend time there, of which Graham does it quite often. And he will then select and see what best appeals to the Poppishop ethos and what we have in our store. So we physically approach people, and then when those have actually come into our store and approached us as well and had the conversation with us. So we're quite open to that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been a nice development.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in the beginning, I had to go out and look for the people. Now we have people walking in the door and saying, I'm making this stuff, would you like to perhaps put it in your shop? So they come and
now
ask.
they see you.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of category of people. They're much younger. They're really new into and desperate to just find a place to show their beautiful things. And we're quite astonished by the creativity and the talent that's out there of young people who coming out of college, or having worked in a factory but wanting to be more creative on their own. We have one guy who was a security guard 2 doors up the road from us. His real passion is to be a clothing designer.
Really?
And we've kind of backed him right from the beginning because he's really talented.
Yes.
And we've produced his whole brand, his logo and his labels. We've helped him do that. And we're hoping he's going to turn out to be a world star one day.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. Job creation as well.
That's it, yeah. That's
upskilling. So there's quite a bit involved there. So what costs would you say would you cover for the artist or for the creative?
Well, that's not strictly something that we do every time. It just happened in a certain instance.
Okay.
So we're not really in a position to finance them per se, but we are just there to help them, as I say, give them the window, and there's no cost for them to come into our shop. Right. A lot of similar type of shops would ask anyone who comes into that kind of environment to pay some money as a rental contribution, operation or cost development. And we don't do any of that.
We cover all the operational
costs.
Wow,
okay. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, that makes it easier for them because not all of us have that kind of
Yeah, no.
funding to,
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So, wonderful. Thank you very much. We're off to a quick ad break. Be back after these. Welcome back to Open Studio on Cape Town TV. We are chatting to our guests from the Poppishop. So, just chatting about the business and its costs and that sort of thing. How do you guys make your income for yourself, or how is profit divided between yourselves? Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's, we run pretty much, if you to just give you a picture that would make more sense, it's almost like an art gallery.
Right.
So in an art gallery, the artists bring their work and the gallerist will sell the painting or the sculpture, whatever, and then it's a percentage of the sale. You agree a percentage, because obviously we have operating costs, and we also would like to make a buck.
Yes, definitely.
So we can pay our bills,
Yes.
and so yeah, that's the model, and it works. You know, it's
Low risk.
it's low risk. It's no risk.
No risk.
For
It
them.
actually is no risk, to be honest.
but
Yeah.
For us, there is a bit of risk
Yeah,
because
for us,
we do have overheads.
Yeah.
Right.
There's your internet and your security and your cleaning and all the rest
All
of it.
those
and
costs are
rental
adding up.
and-
Yeah.
And our
that-
payment system as well. So
Yes.
yeah, all of that.
Yeah, so it is a challenge. You know that we're not immune to the realities of the South African and world economy.
Yes.
If you've seen how the retail sales of the
Yeah.
Christmas period have been reported, and the big guys are hurting, and we've had a tough season, but we knew, and we still got a lot of work to do in terms of getting our brand out into
Out
the
there,
market,
yeah.
because I mean we have an amazing cross-section of people that come into our shop, from, as I said, to parliamentarians who are accompanied by security guards,
Wow.
to
That's
tourists,
yeah.
and everything in between. I really say, in those big windows you spoke about, we're on a
Yes.
very busy intersection.
I saw that.
Yeah.
We see South Africa walks past our doors every day, and it's people who are struggling. There's people who are well heeled. There's
Yeah.
lawyers. There's
We honestly do see all sorts.
professional
Yeah.
people. So it's
A whole variety.
Absolutely.
you could sit there all day and just watch
Yeah.
the people.
I'm sure. Very
But
entertaining.
there is work to be done.
Yeah.
So now, do these creatives actually come into your shop and they sell out of your shop, or they're just providing their crafts and you sort of selling it for them?
Yeah, we're doing it for them. So they're
Okay.
not physically based within our showcase space.
Right.
We bring their wares in, and we run the shop, and all the elements are in there.
Okay.
So they bring it in. We have meetings from time to time. They top up their stock. We discuss ways going forward, but all the items are sold by us from our basic showcase space. Yeah.
No, obviously they're in their workspaces
Yeah,
producing,
creating and
so we're providing the rest of the infrastructure they need to
Yeah.
actually make a brand successful in the
Yeah.
market. And obviously, sales and marketing is key. To
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like that young man you were talking about, that security guard, do you have other examples of people?
We
in the
do.
same-
We do. We have several.
tell us.
We have a young man who actually also just walked into the shop one day, and he actually lives and works on a vegetable farm in the City Bowl,
Oh,
Yeah.
just to make a living and to put food in his tummy. But his passion is leather and making beautiful leather goods. So he came into the shop. He showed us some little belts and wallets that he had made, and they were very nice. And we've helped guide him as well,
In terms of
because he didn't have a brand. He
Yeah.
had the product. So I said, no, if you want to be a craftsman, you need to put your name on
Yeah.
your
you
product.
have to. Yeah.
So his name is Abdon, and I said, you go away and make yourself a little logo, which he did. And being leather, he got a metal stamp made, so he actually impresses his logo onto every piece that he makes now.
Fantastic.
And he does beautiful hand stitching. Everything's handcrafted with him. And he's just a lovely guy, and we're selling a fair amount of things for him.
He's doing well.
And he's got his production line. He can work now because he takes his money, he reinvests some of it in getting more material, and he has a little bit of extra money to enjoy some of the pleasures of life.
Absolutely.
You know, it's also been rewarding for us is, once somebody's brought something in, which they've never sold before, and now you've actually sold for them, the look on their face, their gratitude, their amazement, they are just so thankful that their goods are actually out there now. Which for us has been really rewarding,
Absolutely.
Yeah, but on the other end, it's a spectrum. We have those people, but we also have some quite well-developed brands that are and quite well run very professionally, and they have their products in other stores, and some of them are exporting already, off e-commerce platforms. So we really go. We started out with the kind of bigger brands, and the smaller would be the guys who are just starting out.
Fantastic. And quickly on the future, and then we're going to get your contact details. What is the future for Poppishop?
You go.
I think we'll both actually chat about that. So, like I said, we are a pop-up shop with longevity. Where we are now, we won't be there for a long time. But we're obviously going to be moving on in future to different premises. So the idea is to basically create more of a longevity for Poppishop. So and then you want to add quickly?
Yeah, we have bigger plans, and that is to actually look into starting a company that can get some finance from various places, and start a company that can help people from financing their development, production, backing, sales, marketing, and exporting.
Fantastic. And do you have a website or a Facebook page where we can contact you?
So our socials, it's Poppishop CT on Facebook, and then on Instagram it's Poppishop_Cape Town. And there have been those trying to reach us on our personal handles. So mine is Dila Joe on Instagram, and Valdila Joseph on Facebook.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and very important is that there's an I in Poppishop and not a Y.
Great. Got it.
Often the mistake.
Got it. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for being here. Appreciate
Thank you for
it.
having us.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you to our guests for being with us today and sharing with us. Thank you to our viewers for watching. From me, Tabitha, till next time on Cape Town TV, it's goodbye.